I want to say the roster / locker room is the best I've ever seen since the original ECW.
This is the word to go, yo.
Well, hello, all you gorgeous people. Thank you for joining God TV show right here on your YouTube. That's right, as Mickie would say, YouTube ski. YouTube ski. But you guys, don't forget the most important, likey, not the most important, one of the important ones. Likey. Thumbs up right there.
Give her a
And
like.
don't forget to subscribe down below on the side. I don't know where you guys get it, but subscribe. Yes, we're growing and growing and growing and growing. And don't forget our favorite part. You guys have your bell? Oh, Mickie changed her bell.
Oh,
I
always do it right by my ear like an idiot, and then I go, "Oh, it's too loud." I'm the worst. I'm the worst.
Oh my
But
gosh.
Lisa,
Thank you, ladies, for
can-
joining us, by the way.
Yes, thank you. We love Wednesdays. It's a gorgeous day to chat with our upcoming guests. Before we get to that, we want to say a special thank you and hello for our supportive YouTube members who get the juicy version of this show.
That's
Yeah,
right.
we do cut it off at about 30 minutes on YouTube. The rest of the shows, which have all the juicy, unfiltered content, you've been warned, is on our YouTube memberships, along with hot toddies, exclusive segments, lots of sneak peeks, and fabulousness. Also, we are in podcast form, so don't forget that. And a final shout out to our live chat room every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern. We are all three here in the chat room. So, hi guys, what are you talking about? Probably
Hello.
food.
How's it going down there?
Usually food talk,
Oh.
you guys.
Well, I'm so happy to see the two of you. I'm so excited to see our live chatters here and everyone who's watching God TV with us every Wednesday. We really appreciate all the love and support. But what I'm really excited about is our next guest, because this guest has been so influential in my entire career. And I'm super grateful for him. And I think he's one that we've all wanted to get on the show for a very long time. He is the Innovator of Violence. He is the dream of Tommy. One Tommy Dreamer, a.k.a. Dream Machine.
Dream Machine. What a dream it is.
What
Can't
a
wait.
dream.
Let's bring it in.
Talking about me.
We were.
talking
Waiting
about
this
you.
friggin' thing forever. How are you? Hello, Valerie.
Hi, Thomas the Dreamer. What a dream to have you on God TV. It really is.
Crazy Lisa, how are you?
I love you. I miss you so much. I just want to squeeze your face, give you a hug.
It's a fat
It's
face.
too long.
Mickey, I
A
saw
lot
you
of
yesterday.
squeezing. A lot of squeezing. I know I get to see you every Wednesday. And
Yeah,
I
you
get to
do.
see you at Impact Wrestling all the time. I was just talking, and we were just talking you up, giving you a big intro ski. And I was telling everyone how you have been so influential for my entire career.
All of our careers.
A little
Are we
Alexis
live right now.
Lurie.
Was this the interview or was this the warming up process? Am I
This is
getting-
it, brother. This
There
is
is no warm up.
not live. So if we mess up, no biggie. That's what we love about
So we're
recording
not
it.
live?
No.
Never live.
Not live.
Okay.
We pre-record so we can edit.
The crazy lady told me that we're doing something live, or then she changed. I have about 10 different times also with her. I would expect nothing less. Sweet shirt, by the way. Way to butter up your guests. I like it.
Yes. Little branding never hurt anybody. Well, yeah, we meant lively, because while we're not live, we don't trust ourselves to be live. That's very scary. And no,
I've
thank
seen
you.
it. Or when you ladies drink, there's a lot of things that could go wrong.
There's
Yeah.
a lot or right.
Or
Can I ask a question before we officially start, even though we kind of have started?
yes.
Do both you and Lisa have eyeglass filters, or are those your actual eyeglasses? Because they look like they're filters.
Really?
You have
Yeah.
your own personal filters.
Tommy,
I have,
you need to
yeah.
ask me. I'm blind as a bat.
They are
No one-
so
no one-
big. I love it.
for fashion. I mean, God blessed me with great fashion sense, but clear eyesight. So I don't know what he was doing. So I just wear them for fashion and
Yeah.
to look super duper
Well,
smart.
I know
No
you're
smart.
always a fashion aficionado. It was one of the key things that I noticed on that SoCal Val when I first met her. She was always into fashion and style.
Mhm.
Um,
It is very stylish.
Lisa, I'm surprised doesn't have the 70s where you put the glasses over the slider things, like those the old people wear. You know,
The
like
necklace one or the
no,
one
that you had in your 40s. Like The big old people ones where they have this things on the side and they
Oh,
put
yeah.
them over their glasses.
Like the
Okay,
visor.
hey guys, I am so sexy that I wear those when I golf with my
Oh,
dad.
it's amazing.
When you're on the course.
As we get older, we understand a lot of things, and a lot of things you just said from your father. For me, going to wrestling school, $3,000. Also, total sidebar: why hasn't wrestling school raised with inflation? It's always between $2,000 to $3,000. We all pay it. It should be right now at least $25,000 to go to wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not, but anyway, 1989. My parents, my mom gave me $1,000. My dad gave me $1,000. I trying to raise $1,000 at 18. It's hard. Hey, right now with the economy, trying to raise $1,000 at 52 is hard. But I probably had about $600 to $700, and I was delivering pizza. I was bouncing. I was doing a lot of things to support I need to become a wrestler, and I need this $3,000. And my father comes up to me with a big jug of change and says, "Don't tell your mother, take this to the bank." And hence my wrestling career kind of started. And then,
How much was it, Tommy, in the bank? Do you
it was
know?
probably like close to 600.
Wow.
So and I also bought a pair of boots from it.
Amazing.
And years later, I was able to buy my parents a house. And
Yeah.
I equate that to change. And then I always pick up change. I know Lisa has seen me do it. Lisa has thrown change on the floor to make me bend over so she can laugh. And sometimes she's also pushed me. I will pick up change in a bathroom stall where there may be urine on it, and I will go wash that and my hands. I get totally fixated when I see change on the floor. And if I'm in a locker room, I always say locker rooms and TSAs are the greatest place to find change. And I will just walk over, bend over. My giant ass takes up a lot of area, pick it up and take it. And then at the end of every year, I split all my coins that are rolled in half and I give them to both my daughters.
Oh, that's great.
I want to say last year was over $1,100 a piece.
Wow.
So I picked up like 2,200 and change and given it to them, and it goes in their bank accounts or for their college and all that stuff.
That's so wonderful.
I love that so much.
It all accrues, ladies and
Yes, we
gentlemen.
mentioned the word
Though I
personal.
gave up my story, so now everyone's going to watch Steal Change, and I'm going to be
Yeah,
out. So.
I was thinking that they're going to just steal all of your stuff.
Stupid
Don't go
dog
change it.
TV.
But no, you mentioned something personal, and I'm not
cheap.
sure if Lisa told you. We like to do something very personal on this show to start things off, and we like to ask you, who are you wearing, and what are you drinking tonight?
I will be wearing my usual Tommy Dreamer black sweatpants.
Oh,
I'm wearing another Tommy Dreamer Dusty Rhodes t-shirt, which I was going to change into my Mickie James t-shirt,
Oh my gosh.
but I couldn't find it. And I'm wearing a New York Mets hat that I bought yesterday at the game. It was the hat of the day for $20.
I saw
And I'm
that. I saw
drinking-
you were at the game.
yeah.
Who won?
Football season.
Mets lost. I went back-to-back nights.
Yeah.
I went both Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm also drinking Hardcore Cafe coffee, and that's not a plug. I really am drinking it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That
It's
was a
very
plug.
good, by the way, because you sent me some and we drank it all. It's very
It
good.
really gets you
Lisa,
going.
can you go next about what you're drinking and what you're wearing, girl, tonight?
Yes, I have another a podcast after with Charmel, Booker T's wife, Charmel, and I'm just drinking water to keep hydrated, so I don't get too sloppy. Because Tommy, I gotta be very witty. I'm wearing This Is the Way, which is from Mandalorian,
Mhm.
and I had this made on. I actually had it personally made because I was looking for This Is the Way hat. They didn't have it, so I got it made. And then I'm wearing my
Yeah.
How about
Look at
that?
There.
Look at the head. It's life size.
It's a
Yeah.
smolder.
on my chest again.
Yep.
What the?
It is life size. I showed Mickie James that at Impact. They have like hey, you can see these people. Mickey's got her own like board They come in as you come in, and I literally took a picture and I go, my head is the same size as my blown up head on the thing as fans walk in. I have a giant Frankenstein head.
Giant Frankenstein. And then Lisa says she always has talks about how she has giant hands. Her and Brooke have the man, you'll call them man. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
And Mickie, Brooke,
Mickie
myself.
too?
Oh yeah,
Mickie,
they both
yeah,
have.
both. Yes.
They have Andre
Oh.
hands.
Well,
I
I've
teased
also
them about their hands.
sprained my finger the other day. So
Oh,
this
wow,
is pretty
that's the
fat
worst.
moment. Yeah. I'm a little annoyed. I'll go next. I'm a little annoyed. I just ripped my earring out of my face. I don't know if you saw me like finagling around trying to find the backing. It's probably down my top. But I was also looking for a special t-shirt, my House of Hardcore t-shirt, the yellow and black one that I cut and fringed up when we were tag teaming together. One of my favorite matches. I enjoyed tag teaming with you there. I really did. But I couldn't find it. So I put on this last rodeo shirt.
Nice.
From Wrestle Merch that's in the UK because I wanted to do so because shipping can be crazy, and obviously we had the Impact one, but because you inspired this whole last rodeo, you helped me with this whole thing, and I don't think a lot of people know that part of.
Don't tell people my creative super genius.
Of the last rodeo, and I'm just, I just never really thought when I met you, 20 years ago, whatever it was, that you would be so intricately like braided in to my whole wrestling journey and story along the way. And you're one of my dearest friends, and I respect you and I love you so much. And I'm just grateful that you looked out for me and you looked out for, all of us and anyone that you ever loved. And so that's all.
Word. I'm going to look up the date as you guys
You're a good
continue
therapist,
talking.
Tommy. You're a good therapist.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah.
What were you drinking? Mickie, are you imbibing?
Oh, I am. Okay, so it was storming really bad here, and I was worried about it for my connection for us to record today because it just let up. As you can tell, my hair's still wet. I was like, oh my God, let me go get the horses up. I was, before this storm comes through. And then I get back to the house and I'm walking in the door in my galoshes. I am drenched, soaking wet to the bone. Free shower.
Oh,
you should have
that's
taken a picture of it and put it on social media, and you could break the internet like you did with your busted open bathing suit.
With my
yeah.
Busted Open has their own
bathing
suit now.
I want one.
It could be.
I'm going to call it Busty Open. That's not okay.
What are you vibing on, Val?
I don't want to say.
Well, one hell of an interview.
Well, the reason is because, listen, there's many times where our guests are not having a drink, or we usually discuss, are you guys having a shot? Are you having a drink? I'm the only one drinking, and I made a shot. And I made a shot with Tommy the Dreamer in mind, okay?
Nice.
Innovator of Violence. By the way, the Innovator of Violence plus you tag teaming, I'll get to that in a moment because that's some juicy GAW TV gossip that we need. But WrestleMania Cup here is full of sugar-free peach iced tea because I'm still American, even though I live all the way in England, with a little vodka poured in. Oopsie. And I am drinking a shot of whiskey because, like your friend Bubba, like all of my ECW compadres, I try to be cool. And I try to go, I can shoot whiskey, like Carrie Underwood says. And it's awful, but I thought I would do it in honor of you. But I'm the only one drinking, so.
Oh, well, it's also nighttime when we're doing this interview for you.
Yeah, it's 9:00, so yeah.
And Valerie, did you know that in that crazy land of ECW, I know both Mickie and Lisa know this, I never was into drinking or drugs. Never have, never done it.
What?
Never.
Almost was a straight edge.
Don't crash my dreams. I like to think it was like the wrestling Motley Crue story. That's pretty badass.
I mean, and even in WWE, who had to carry Victoria and Mickie to their rooms all the time and dump them off like trash? There you go.
Trash!
Get to your room.
Let me make sure they're on their bellies.
Well, I'm going to. I'll take a bit of the shot. Oh, I didn't mention, by the way, Paris 100% silk robe. That I was mad that the lady tried to finagle the price with me. And I was like, 50 euros, ma'am, I wasn't born yesterday. Je ne comprends pas. And then when I opened the package today, it's 100% silk. And I'm sitting here trying to,
it's beautiful though. I love that.
Silk is nice.
It looks like Versace.
It does.
When you're a
hurt.
little bit heavy, it's not good for me to wear that because sweat, boob titty sweat, which is a real thing.
Boobies is what we call them. Man boobs.
Okay. Well, when
Movies.
man boobs sweat, they'll stain on. They'll
Movies,
stain on it.
movies.
Yeah.
I got them all. I
There's a
got
story that
laddies. I got
Movies?
laddies, moobies,
Mipples.
back fatties.
mentioned that I wanted to get back to the fact that you guys were a tag team. So you've got the Innovator of Violence.
Look at her.
You being so
She's having full conversations with all of her personalities right now.
But you are a creative genius, and I want your feedback on something that we all came up with a few episodes ago. What do you think about Mickie? You're the Innovator of Violence. I'm Val, Lisa Widow speak. We're thinking of Mickie entering her Native American badass era. Your thoughts?
Remember when Taker was the American badass?
Yes.
Okay. I loved that.
I think it's genius.
I would. Well, you had pushback when you wore your headdress, correct? At WrestleMania.
At WrestleMania, yes. I did have pushback.
Of different tribes' customs.
Because women aren't supposed to wear headdresses. Warriors wear headdresses. You are a point, you get it's a war bonnet, and it's supposed to be only for men. And also each feather represents certain achievements, or whether it was a battle won or like a spiritual journey or different levels and stuff like that. So yeah, there was an incredible amount, which I was pretty shocked about. And I was like, and in my mind I said, oh, I'm a female, but I'm a female warrior. And it was WrestleMania. Everything it's theatrics. It's everything is super as big as possible. It's WrestleMania. And it was like, I still have that headdress. And I was like, I thought I was going to be able to showcase it, do all the things. And I'm like, oh, it sits in my closet.
Yeah. So the answer would be no, because number one, you got to explain that.
It's a no from Tommy Dreamer. Okay.
It's
number
a no for
two. It's, listen, I have this conversation all the time. The Iron Sheik, who we just lost, we will never see a character like that again. What did wrestling and wrestling villains always portray? Fear. It was Germans. It was Nazis. It was Russians during all conflict. Iron Sheik, the Ayatollah, Iran. You're too young to realize this, but when in Iran with the Ayatollah, they killed U.S. soldiers. They took Americans hostage. And here's this guy who was legit the Shah of Iran's bodyguard, and he was coming to America to do this to everybody. That was his goal. There's a war going on that we're not involved in, Russia and the Ukraine. We could not have a heel Russian character. You could not have a Ukraine character. Why? Because companies would come at you. So think of that. Like, think of a character like that. And the guy taught the U.S. Olympic team how to wrestle.
Right.
But wrestlers are always held to a different standard. So Mickie thinking I'm doing this as an amazing tribute. How dare you? You're doing that. But guess what? I have seen women wrestlers with full headdresses on that were natives. But social media wasn't a thing. Or people won't tag your company to get you kicked off. Or this person should be fired. She's going to, and if it becomes such a hot topic issue, you have to get rid of it. We don't say Masha Slamovich is from Russia anymore because you don't want that negative stereotype. But that is how the world is different. It's even like being a heel. Like, how can you truly be a heel? MJF does it, but then lately he's been more comedic heel. You think about our great heels in the industry right now as we're doing this podcast. It's Dom Mysterio, Don Callis, and Christian. And MJF, so that's 4. MJF was kind of higher, but he has since fallen. So, but like, one is you're a deadbeat dad, Don Callis, because he turned on a great, and Christian's just a dick. So Christian's not on social media. Don is 100% in character. I don't know about Dominic, and MJF is 100% in character.
Yeah,
I think the only way for a heel to truly be a heel in today's landscape is to not care about social media and not care if they're going to get canceled on social media or anything like that. Not saying that they should ever say, but I think that that's the only place that you're going to worry about being canceled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless it's something awful where you just stop getting booked. But I think,
Yeah.
you know, if someone was to commit to the level of like getting the heat, you know, I think they would still get booked as a heel. I would hope, as long as they're not like being, whatever happened to that real heat, you know?
We're like,
It's hard to
sidestepping
do.
landmines now, right? Like everyone's treading so carefully.
Yeah, they're tiptoe.
Listen, I did an angle in the original ECW where I had Just Incredible interrupt my grandfather's legit 10-bell salute. And he said, "I wish it was you instead of him." And people were like, oh. And I went after him. But it started Just Incredible's career.
Yeah.
I thought my mom recently died. I thought of doing that for someone as well. And I said, if I did that, I would get canceled because they say I'm using my mother's death as, and I'd be like, but my mother would love that.
Right.
But it's my choice. But you'd have so many people saying blah, 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 where then we would have to be like, ugh, like, what do you like? You have to, is it worth it? Is the juice
and then
worth
you're doing
the squeeze?
damage control, right? Like, and having to defend yourself in your own decision. That's your own personal family decision. That's a lot.
So no to Mickie. But I mean, there's so.
By the way, you can blame me. That was my idea. I was just kidding.
Well, it's too late. I've already got the T-shirt. I'm working on the artwork. You know,
Taker's cool with it. We already listen. We're in a group text. He's incessantly texting us. It's a lot.
My first time. Now I don't know if the two of you know this. My first time meeting SoCal Val. I know I've told Val the story.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working in WWE talent relations. It's WrestleMania LA. So 2005, 2006. Don't know exactly which one it was.
21.
Okay. Rock and Vince McMahon are not talking. They haven't spoken because remember the WWE took ownership of the name The Rock and he had to go to Dwayne Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big deal. And there was animosity and they haven't spoken. We get word, Johnny pulls aside, that one Dwayne The Rock Johnson is showing up at the WrestleMania party and we have to set up this secure area for Vince and The Rock to have their first conversation in a while. It's like Secret Service. It's outside. There's people positioned everywhere. The Rock limo pulls up. Vince is sitting there with John's going to be the first. Then I'm going to meet. And we have security everywhere. But it's on like an outdoor patio. And there's like these planters. And as The Rock gets out of the limo, it's almost like a movie of an assassination. And like everything is happening in slow motion. And all of a sudden, the wrestler from Tough Enough, Hawk, and one SoCal Val walk into the area where Vince is getting ready to meet one and try to squash the beef. And I look and I'm like, no. And Johnny's giving me the look. And like, I don't know what that conversation, but again, he was in Tough Enough and Val's just clueless young lady, right?
Yep.
So I have to quickly like go and hey guys, can we go over here? But like in Hawk's mind, and I don't know about Val because she'll tell her version of the story. This is my chance. Vince is alone. And like, we have to Secret Service these two they don't even work in the company out. And John's like, who are they? I'm like, oh, that's Hawk. I don't even know who this girl is, but I kind of remembered like from the indies, like you were just coming up.
Yeah.
So we scoot them in. And like, as I'm escorting them out, here comes The Rock. And Vince is like, Dwayne, he's like, Vince. And like, it's like all this tension. I'm like, who the hell? If I have to murder these two people, I will. and that was one SoCal Val.
That is it's a funny story because especially when you mentioned the planters, I thought, yeah, because we were like outside. So I was there to meet Hawk. I was with the girl that was one of the ring girls for TNA. We just both started. We knew Frankie, we knew Hawk. We just said, oh, we're gonna hang out in the lobby, not into the party. Just hang out in the lobby, whatever, and meet our friends. And Hawk, as sweet as he was one of my first indie shows, was just let's call it eccentric, just all over the place, just whatever. And yeah, I remember him he's just a very loud personality. Yeah, that was weirdest. And I remember seeing The Rock and being like, oh, that's so cool. That's The Rock. Interesting. And I later actually with Frankie and Hawk and someone else went into the party, which now I kind of go, I'm like, I probably should have been like, no, it's a party. But I was like, maybe we're all friends. That's fine. We got the little wristbands. Thank you. Went in. I think Alicia Foxy was there. Maybe that was later. Anyway, at the party, I remember seeing The Rock like down the table, like down like the buffet table, and be like, "Holy shit, that's The Rock! That's very cool." But yeah, probably not the best time to.
Did you go? Hey, Val, did you go like, "Hey, Dewey, what's up?"
What's up, Dewey? Well, I hate to be the one to shift gears onto current events and wrestling, but I will say that for those watching, my first foray, and I'll say this quickly, I don't want to bug you with it, but my first foray into ECW was when I did one of my first shows in Southern California. They said, okay, so we want you to be like catfighting like Francine and Dawn Marie. So, just study them. I said, okay, whatever you want me to do. So then I got all these VHS tapes, and that's when I discovered, yes, Francine and Dawn Marie were fabulous, and I love them, but that's when I discovered Tommy Dreamer and Shane Douglas. And I was like, with all due respect to the ladies, who are this is amazing, right? And then I got to work with Mr. Dreamer in Impact Wrestling. And now everything's come full circle because Mickie James and Tommy Dreamer are still with Impact Wrestling. And Mickie, please chime in a second. But Tommy, please tell us, what's the roster like? What's the vibe like since we were there? Like what's going on and how are you enjoying your time there right now?
I'm enjoying it. I want to say the roster / locker room is the best I've ever seen since the original ECW.
Wow.
Except for the fact
there
that
is a bunch.
you weren't there. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, Mickie.
Well, I don't think Lisa could be brought in because every time we are together, Scott has to separate us, or Scott has to remind me to get to work. And or I'm laughing so much my face hurts and I'm not paying. I'm like, oh wait, I'm supposed to be agenting this next match, but I'm talking to Lisa because she's making me laugh. It's really is it's a great locker room. Everybody works hard. And even after the shows, everyone's, what the drama that there really isn't. There's like, but after the shows, the same thing. Like, hey, we're with these people all day. Most of just hang out in the lobby if you wait for your flights. All right, I'm gonna hang out. We're gonna BS. We're gonna hang out and then just go to your rooms and get ready for your flight and go. It's really, really cool. It's a lot of people that care about each other. I think when you were there, Val, and I was there was a lot of mismanagement.
Changes for sure. Yeah.
I know when I was there, like it was my boss was Dixie because she was the owner, but then there was also Jeff, there was Hulk Hogan, there was Eric Bischoff, and there was Vince Russo. And I had a creative question. I go to talk to Vince and I'd be like, okay, well, Vince did this. And then I'd go to Bischoff. Well, I didn't approve that. No. All right. Well, so there was a lot of that. It doesn't happen. And I also want to say mainly because it's wrestlers running the place. I mean, you've dealt with Scott. I think Scott is very, very approachable to the talent. So am I. So is Gail Kim. So if you have an issue, like Gail will be like, okay, well, this is an issue, blah, 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 blah. And then she'll come to me for like kind of like consigliere advice. Like, well, I would handle it this way, or hey, you want me to handle it? No problem. Like, we talked about the last rodeo. That was a conversation that me and Mickie had. And I was just like, I want to do this because I know how Mickie feels personally about herself and her career. And I was like, we're going to do this and tell this story on television. And if I lose one match, because I know it's not a ego thing, I know and I strive because I still want to be the best. And if I can't win, then I don't deserve to be here. And I'm literally going to put my entire career, and I would step away and I'd be okay with it. And I was like, we're going to tell that story, but you're not going to retire because I will be angry if you retire.
That's it.
I'll be angry.
Period. End of story.
And I mean, that was kind of like how the whole thing started, and it got stretched out. It worked too. And even now it's like, even when she got hurt, and I know she felt down about it, And as simple as that. Hey, Mickie, you're not going to lose your job. Hey, Mickie, you're going to get paid. Hey, Mickie, it makes you stronger when you do come back because you have a guaranteed title shot. You have a guaranteed storyline. You never lost that title, whoever is the champion, when you do decide to come back, when you're physically able to, blah, 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 blah. But it's also from the compassionate side of, we've all been there as performers. Like, oh my God, if I get hurt, I'm off the road. I'm not going to make money.
Yes.
I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. And that's for some of you, that's a massive thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, even when like wrestlers get hurt, I'm like, dude, don't worry, take the time off. You're going to come back stronger and better.
Isn't that crazy? That's one of the scariest things to tell a wrestler, is just take the time off. It's okay. In our mind, we think it's not okay because we're going to miss an opportunity. We're going to miss our spot. They're going to write us off TV. Then you're going to have to find a way to bring you back to TV, or you always feel like especially when you're in the mix of a lot of things, like if you're on a kind of a roll and then you get hurt. We've all been hurt. We've all been hurt before. Yeah. It sucks, but it's like, I try to tell that to people too. Like, don't worry about it. It's fine. You'll see. Maybe you needed the time off, which I felt like, even though I was really excited and loving the last rodeo, and it was so beautiful and perfectly done. And I think because we all could creatively get together, and that was the same success with my original storyline with Trish, is because we were all able to create together. And that's, I think, why the last rodeo was so pretty and just beautifully done, is because creatively everybody's input is what made it special.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest fan of Tommy Dreamer, but I will say that because the ladies have been, that you've known them longer, I want to let Mickie and Lisa say the final words tonight. And again, if you guys are watching, and hopefully, I know you've enjoyed this episode, hopefully you're already following Tommy, but if not, everything is in the link in the description as far as Hardcore Cafe, where you can check into Busted Open, Impact Wrestling. It's all there. But ladies, you have the floor.
I just want to say I love you so much. And thank you for coming on our show. I love sharing Wednesdays with you. I love sharing the Impact Wrestling locker room with you. I love sharing so many memories along my career, and I'm just grateful always for Tommy Dreamer. Always.
Likewise.
And I just want to say I love you. And oh shit, it's never gonna get better.
Oh no, she's at it again.
No, I'm sorry, but I do love you. We always call each other our soulmates because we're just identical in people and Aquarius, like a couple days apart on our birthday. And my last thing I want to say is thanks for the house.
Old school.
That's old school. Let's raise a glass to Tommy Dreamer and your illustrious career that is still just amazing, and you're doing so many amazing things. We thank you for being here. We know that you're busy, so thank you. We all love you very much.
Wish you guys
all the continued success.
Appreciate it.
Tell the family hello.
This is the word to go, yo.